Okay, we are live with me and my pal Hanz. This what is this? The complaint box, like Rhea says? No, this is a debate.
A
It's
debate.
it can't be a
I prefer
complaint.
discussion.
Yeah, it could. Okay, discussion. Well, that's not very clickbaity. YouTube. This is a debate. Here's Rhea here. Here's Black Ops Jimbo 01. Yes, yay Hans and Max. Zeno. Oh boy. Yeah, we could have. I wanted to have the Zeno and Hans show. I would like to get you both on the stream sometime in the future. Patrick says I'll go to bed and watch on the replay. Memes of destructions. What's going on? We're gonna have a bloody debate. This is getting really
Bloody.
aggressive about whether we should leave anime and video games alone for movies and TV shows, and just leave them in their original medium and just like not bother, because Hans is very passionate about anime and video games, and he's not too happy with the results. Right? I don't want to speak for him, but I don't know, Hans. The floor is yours. I am extremely positive towards these adaptations. I sometimes prefer the live action to the original source material, and I'm not against the anime. I'm not a hater. But go ahead, man.
Well, I think we should start at video games because I know games more than anime. And
Okay.
why I think turning video games into movies takes a lot away from the game. I'm not saying it can never happen. You can't make a good one, but there's certain things that you get with a game that you don't get out of a movie. And one of the things that I always think of is I always think about Assassin's Creed and 2 Brotherhood and Revelations, to be specific, where you play those 3 games as Ezio Auditore all the way through his entire life, and you get very connected to those characters. What those characters are going through is essentially what you're going through. Almost, it's you are Ezio while you play those games, and it's feelings and emotion you get from being so invested that you simply can't copy with a movie.
Okay, so they shouldn't even. Well, it's a different experience. Movies and TV series, but why not make an adaptation of that property and change it? If you can't get the exact experience, I understand that it's not going to be the same. But why not try? There's such a rich property there. I was really looking forward to the Assassin's Creed movie because I'm not into the games that much. I respect the games. I never watched the movie though because I heard it was such a failure.
I didn't watch
Um,
either.
so, but I'm totally for. I just think the problem is just sticking to the original experience. It has to be a different experience if it's going to translate the film. But we're getting so many games, movies, or video games to movies that are working right now. Like Sonic. What's some of the other ones that recently came out? Detective Pikachu was
I knew
very
you were going to
successful.
bring this up. The difference between in my opinion, this is all just my opinion. I'm not saying who's right, who's wrong. This is just what I think, how I feel. I don't care if people have other opinions, but it's like Sonic and Mario and Pokemon. They're kind of still blank slates in a way. Sonic has his like own personality. I guess Mario kind of does, but it's different adapting things like that into movies than bigger ones like Assassin's Creed. And before we go on, there is a Final Fantasy 15, which is one of my favorite games. They have a movie called Kingsglaive that's like a prequel to the game, and I love it. I thought it was great. So I feel like if they do movies, it's they have to if they do, they have to stay true to like what the game is about almost. Where Sonic and Pokemon and Mario have so many different games that are kind of attached.
I'm trying to think
But
of recent. There was another recent live action video game movie that or something project that was good, and I'm trying to think of what it was. Um, trying to go back here. I think the recent Tomb Raider was decent. It could be better. Um,
the new Tomb Raider, Lara Croft in the games, the trilogy that's out is always going to be my Lara.
mhm. I really wish Warcraft would have been more successful. I was looking forward to that.
See,
Uh,
it's hard to make some games like Warcraft into a movie and have like a real good story.
mhm.
Of course, my memory of
Oh yeah,
Warcraft goes all the way back to old school PC, like pixelated Warcraft 2.
yeah. North Star Kenshiro. I like Rurouni Kenshin the anime. I keep hearing about the live action movies are good, and I've always wanted to give them a shot. I know they're on Netflix. I just don't know if they're all on there. Um, RJ says, "What about movies based around video games that aren't direct adaptations? Wreck-It Ralph, Ready Player One, Free Guy, etc."
Well,
Um,
those aren't like he said; those aren't direct adaptations.
mhm. But there's so
I mean,
many
I know that
properties that are good for like Fallout TV series would be amazing. What about
Fallout's
the
a game all about the exploration, though. Really,
yeah,
the exploration. You fall into water and get radiated, and you hate your life for an hour until you
The
figure out
Last
how
of
to get
Us?
rid of it.
The Last of Us coming up.
I
That's
don't have a PlayStation, so I unfortunately never played it.
okay, but this is it's like next level. They are getting there finally with some video game adaptations. Matt Jarbo says, and this is where I come down to everything. I say give it a shot. You just didn't get the formula right. People said this about comic book movies in the past, and we're there with comic book movies. Now, some might not like all comic book movies. I know, Hans, you're not the biggest fan of comic book movies, but overwhelmingly, if there's this many projects coming in, they are successful. Um, you just have to do it right, is all. But I think we're getting there. I think this is be the worst time to stop is when there's some bright spots in there. And you know what? Sonic was hard to get right too, even though it's more of a blank slate character. Um,
Actually, they still managed to mess up the way he looked.
well, they fixed it.
That's true, they did, which is
Uh,
surprising.
Zeno says Reyes should be on to keep Max from derailing the topic like he's already doing. Oh wow, Rhea can come on if
What?
she wants,
We're
but
on
I don't.
topic.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, no, we're fine, Zeno. Um, I was trying to think there was another. I'm not prepared for tonight though. I have to admit that.
Oh,
I'm
I
good.
had like 4 bullet notes or
Okay.
bullet points. Only 4.
Uh, recent. Okay, the 12 best video game movies ranked. I'm trying to see here. No, Doom was horrible. Resident Evil,
No,
Warcraft,
no. Resident Evil
Prince of
was a big no.
Persia, Sands of Time. I didn't. I thought that was a fun movie. I didn't think it was good, and I know it was race swapped with Jake Gyllenhaal. I actually think they should try Prince of Persia again. That would be a good one to try. Sonic the Hedgehog. I actually really enjoyed Rampage. It was fun, dumb fun, but that was very took a lot of liberties with the. I just can't believe how that movie got made. Like I would never expect to see a Rampage movie.
I forgot there was a Rampage movie.
Yeah. Let me see here. Silent Hill. I'm not really into the horror. Angry Birds movie. Oh, Monster Hunter. What about Monster Hunter?
Monster Hunter. I don't know anything about
No,
the
that
game
was
really.
bad. That was bad.
I think
Uh,
the my biggest problem with movies, because I'm out of everything entertainment, games are that's what I do is just gaming, and the thing that takes me
look at
away
Alicia
from
Vikander's.
movies is I'll use an example. When you're reading like a book and you're reading a book and you get really invested in like that world of the book, all the detail in that book, but you're still just a person from the outside reading it. You know, when you're playing a game, you actually take the role of the main character of that story, and it's almost like it's your playthrough with alongside them. And like I said before, it's just the the emotion that comes with the characters, the things that happen to the character. It starts, you start, you kind of feel like, oh man, this guy and whoever the main villain is in a game, you become invested in wanting to stop him too because you're like, they did my boy dirty that I'm playing as, and it almost becomes like a little your own story, your own little world getaway.
I get it. I think they should keep trying, though. I really do. There's so many rich worlds. I think I can't. That's the goal for me, though. Is it can't be a direct adaptation to try to make it like the game. It's got to be different. Detective Pikachu. If they just tried to make a game, for example, of trying to catch Pokemon like they do in the game, it might be boring or not work. But the way they did something different with it, that was interesting. Mortal Kombat, I think there's some good stories there. Then the recent movie was kind of iffy, but should we move on to the anime? I thought you were a big anime fan too.
I've seen a handful. I haven't seen as many as some people, but I've seen quite a few. Anime is different. Anime is weird to make into live action because one of the one of the main things about anime, which I've seen Zeno actually say, is making it live action kind of eliminates the anime aspect of it. A lot of anime, you get a lot of the emotion from the music in it, from the surroundings, and just the way some anime looks. The art in the anime is what really makes the anime, and it's
Or
hard to
style.
take something like that over to live action and give it that like that same feeling and the same effect.
I think part of the whole problem with this whole discussion is people are too stuck. Like if you're gonna do it, it has to be too close to the original. You have to get the spirit of the property and adapt it to a different medium, and do something different with it, with still respecting it. But it's not going to be that. Like if they were going to just do a live action anime that's just trying so much to be like it in the style, it's not going to work. It's going to be cheesy if people in real life are doing some of these crazy things. You could still get away with some of it. But I mean, what's your thoughts about this? There's the big debate on Cowboy Bebop. Now that you've seen the trailers, I'm so for it. It looks exciting, and it does look a little bit different, but it gives enough there that it has the feel. The special effects, it looks like something that we can. It's like next level to me. This and then the Gundam photo there of what they're working on. This seems like a great untapped market for great stories. To I think it's on the level. It can be level if they're successful of the next MCU, anime on Netflix.
Oh,
This could be what Netflix needs to compete. It's the only thing I see that has a chance at overtaking the popularity of one of the biggest movie genres ever is the comic book movie genre, is the anime to live action. And I understand why people are judging it ahead of time based on what we've got before. But I see glimmers of hope there. And I would really be shocked if Cowboy Bebop is bad based on what I've seen. It's one of my most anticipated this year. And that one image here of Gundam live action, imagine if they get this, if they get this giant robot and live action legit. I mean, I really like Pacific Rim, but it didn't have that instant fan base that Gundam would have. There are so many old school Gundam fans. It's worldwide. And if they get it right, that's another big property. It's just going to blow the doors open if they get these two projects right on Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, if it's done right, if it's done good, then it is, and good for them. But I feel like it's very hard to capture that same yeah, I can't think of the right word. It's hard to capture that the same feelings in a live action than an anime.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like anime has such a unique style to it. It's so detailed. Anime is very artistic.
For example, here mark my words. I make strong opinions, predictions here. I feel that Cowboy Bebop is going to get better numbers. For instance, what's it going up against? Cowboy Bebop's coming out soon. The next MCU show, even though I'm really rude, and RJ's gonna get pissed when I say this, and I'm looking forward to Hawkeye, but I feel that Cowboy Bebop's gonna get better viewers than Hawkeye, and then I think people are gonna start taking live action anime serious. I think Cowboy Bebop's gonna be the game changer, and then the discussion's gonna be blown wide open by the end of the year, and you're all gonna come back to me. I'm like, Max was kind of right. This is the next thing. I'm telling you.
Oh, I hope not.
You hope not. If it's successful,
I don't want it to fail, but I don't.
If people like it, you don't want it to happen. Like
If people like it, then go for it.
You're not specifically a fan, it doesn't hurt your fandom of the original property for it to.
No, it doesn't.
Right, but you hope not that won't happen. That they're just going to blow the war open, and people are going to look at all the projects, and they're going to because once an idea gets overexposed, you're going to get more shovel projects in there. But that's what you were already getting before any successes, though.
Movies, adapting anime into movies, just if I don't know what I haven't seen Cowboy Bebop. I don't know what the movie's gonna cover, what it's gonna be about. But some of these anime go on for like 4 or 5 seasons, and then they just make a movie. And sometimes when they do these movies, they try to cover all of it in like a 2-hour span, and it just doesn't work. They clump so much, they lose character development, they leave characters out, and sometimes that works. And people in the who are in the Discord are gonna give me crap about this because I'm going back to Lord of the Rings again. But the Lord of the Ring movies, they change a lot in the movies. Like so much, so they change so much in the movies that I don't even know like where to begin with how much they change. But they're all good changes that worked very well from going from book to big screen. But since anime is already a show, if you just watch an anime all the way through without taking breaks, it's just a big movie already. So it's harder. I feel like it's harder to adapt something that's already film, basically, that you're watching into something shorter live action.
Well, Blinded Braille says anime cinematic universe sounds like cringe. I want to be a big universe of live action anime. I don't necessarily want them to interact that much unless it makes sense, like crossover, not like the MCU. But yeah, I could see a big opportunity there. I don't want it to be forced, like you force projects together just because of the MCU exists. Netflix Cowboy Bebop does look good aesthetically. RJ's laughing at me, and then,
look, even Jarbo agrees with me.
All right, let me see. Hold on, let me catch up to that. PKL Entertainment. I'd love to see live action anime cinematically rather than streaming. Okay. Zeno says Cowboy Bebop anime is niche compared to the mass popularity of Marvel. There are a lot of anime fans. Anime, there are a lot.
The thing is that
look at My Hero Academia. That's huge. And then if they get it right, live action. I think they are doing live action. I just don't know. All right, let's get to. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I wanted to get to RJ telling me I was smoking crack. Hawkeye is going to be way bigger than Cowboy Bebop. You're smoking crack, Max. There's way more interest than Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is dealing with the controversy, hate from the hardcore anime fans. I'm telling you, man. We could bet on it. Did we have a bet before? What was the other bet? I had a bet with someone. What was it? It was about Eternals.
I thought of something.
Uh-huh.
So in anime and anything that's drawn or digitally drawn, whatever. What's the one thing that lacks compared to live action? It's like the facial, the emotions on like for facial.
Yeah.
You can't. It's easier in live action to act really sad, really excited. In anime, you're limited, so they have to in anime they make up for that with things in the surroundings, things with the music, the background, the setting, the even like the color, lighter, darker, grayer. They do all that with anime to help you get that emotion for certain scenes that in live action you have a human actor who's able to show you that emotion. And something that's huge with anime that is it's part of anime is the settings, the lighting, the surroundings, and all that is what makes the anime an anime.
It takes a skilled director. You could get that in live action too. The setting, the lighting, emotion. You could do that too. It just takes a skilled director when to use it and when to focus on the act. It's gonna be different, of course. You're gonna use different methods and different mediums to obtain a different reaction and moods. But it can work. I think Matt Jarbo's opinion doesn't matter here because
I think it matters because he agrees with me.
Well, he doesn't watch anime. The majority of the talk that we've had on his show is like, what about this weird hentai back in the day? He doesn't really follow anime. I truly believe that anime should never be adapted into life. Why? Okay, explain yourself, Jarbo. Why should it never be? If it's adapted, yes. If it's just a hollow representation of its original form, there has to be something done to make it better for live action.
Well, you just said it's hollowed. A live action, I think it's always gonna feel hollowed because it's not gonna be able to capture the same things that the anime is able to do because it's not live action.
Matt Jarvo says, I'm excited to watch Cowboy Bebop. It's never going to compare. Why would you do that to it? I'm more excited for this than the anime, and I'm going to go watch the original anime again. It's been so many years. I think this could be more popular than the original. Honestly. I mean, mark my words, you all come back here after it comes debuts. We watch the first few episodes. You'll see.
Is Cowboy Bebop a show or a movie?
It's going to be a series on Netflix.
Oh.
You didn't watch any of the trailers?
Well, I didn't know I thought it was a movie.
No, it's a show on Netflix. I'm not sure if the Gundam is going to be a movie or a series. Let me see here. Anime isn't a genre, it's a medium. People who watch anime don't love all anime. Okay.
That's true. There's so many different kinds of anime. There's a ton. There's some anime out there that I'll never touch.
Yeah, I'm open to a lot of different kinds. I'm honestly, I haven't I have to finish Attack on Titan. I know you said that's one of your favorites, Hans, right?
Yeah, that one's great.
Yeah, I never finished it because my wife. The only reason I didn't finish it is my wife likes to keep watching, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done for the day, and she can't wait. And I don't remember where I was. I don't remember where I was left off.
Just start over. Oh, we could do a watch party of it.
Okay.
I'll watch it for a
Uh,
fifth time.
yeah, I'm back. Thank you, H Barts. Zeno says it can't work because it hasn't. People need to try. People need to be more open to everything. It can be amazing. Let's wait and
Highlight
see.
RJ's comment real quick.
Hold
The
on.
one, do you guys think video games, movies, adaptations would work better as animated movies or series versus live action? I think I was gonna talk about this too. Um, I think animated would always work better if they're going to do video game movies, because or at least partially. They're like the Final Fantasy 15 movie, that's the prequel, is pure animation made by them, and it's very good, and it's captures everything about the game into the movie.
Mhm.
And then I know on YouTube there's some Halo movies, and I think those are like partially animated, partially live action. But I've seen maybe two of them, and they weren't bad. But that's also because with Halo and the massive lore that goes with it, you can. I'm still waiting for them. I would like to see this if they made a Halo movie about some random squad during the the wars,
Mhm.
and it has nothing to
The
do with the
Master Chief.
games. Maybe you hear a name of some captain or general at some point, but other than that, it's completely separate from the game. And they make it more of a war movie than a Halo movie.
Mhm. Uh, I'd like to see more live action for video game. I'd actually like to see more superheroes animated properties. Uh, some of the
See,
most
Blinded,
amazing.
I disagree with Fallout, because whenever I think Fallout live action, or like, maybe like Skyrim, Oblivion live action, one of the best parts of those games is you in first person walking around this huge, massive world that's created around you, and just trying to completely immerse yourself into that. And in a movie, you lose immersion completely with a movie when you're just sitting there watching.
Oh, here's movie blocks too. He doesn't understand either. Why not? It doesn't hurt the anime. The anime still exists. The only downside is if they try it and they don't get it right, and then you have to wait forever to get it again. Like
Like
for
Death
instance,
Note, Full Metal
yeah, yeah.
Alchemist. Um,
That's my only That's my only criticism with trying is if you f it up, then we got to wait forever for them to try it again.
it's very easy
or
to mess
or
up.
or if it ever happens again. Let's For example, Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's one of my favorite series of all time. I love and it's not exactly anime, but it's animation,
It's
and
it's
I
like
and
a
I
50-50.
and I think it can be done very well in live action, and they're trying again, and who knows if they're going to succeed. If they fail again, who knows if we'll get that opportunity. I think it's the on par with the younger generation Star Wars. It could be amazing live action. That's the only downside to me personally.
Well, Star Wars is different. Star Wars is everything.
Hmm.
They have their hand in animation, anime now, the games, all of it. Star Wars is very fluid like that.
Hmm. All right. Well, we've gone about 30 minutes here. I think everyone agrees with me. No, I'm just kidding. No, most people probably agree with Hans. I just, I honestly think that too, RJ. I think no, if I'm complete, if Cowboy Bebop is really cringe and it's not good, but I think if it's a good show, I think it's going to be more popular than even Hawkeye. I think once you get the streaming numbers, we're going to have to watch movie math. Um, oh well, oh that's the bet I have with RJ is that he's going to like Avatar 2 when it comes out. So he's going to go opening weekend, and if he does not like it, um, I have to buy his ticket. That was the deal.
I'll be very surprised if RJ doesn't like the movie.
Yeah. So he said he has to be truthful. And then I had another bet with Lunga on Eternals beating Shang-Chi's box office, and I think I'm winning that bet already. No, he didn't win the debate. What are you talking about? I guess. I mean, well, all
There
right.
was no debate.
There was. I mean,
It
it
was just a
was
discussion.
okay. Well, who who do you think gave better arguments? Type in the chat, Hans or the Madman. Go ahead. I won't censor anyone. I have a feeling I know which way it's going. Everyone doubts me. I don't know enough about the live
Oh, and here,
One
Gears of
Piece live.
War is another game that I'm surprised I haven't heard people wanting that into a movie.
Oh, they did.
Oh, really?
Actually, the actor that plays Drax the Destroyer, what's his name?
I don't know actor names.
Damn it, Hans.
I don't know actors. I don't know directors. It's like another language to me.
Why am I missing his name? He's also in. He was just in Dune. Dave Bautista. Yes, he wants to be Gears of War. Blind and Braille said it's actually in the works. He wants to be the main
Really?
character in Gears of War.
He wants to be Marcus.
Yes.
Here, the thing. All right, this is a personal thing for me that if no one else really understands, it's gonna make sense because this is purely for me. But for Gears of War, and there's spoilers for a Gears of War trilogy that's been out 10 years, and I played through the first game, the second game, and the third game with one of my closest friends, and I played Marcus, he played Dom, and we played through that game on hardcore difficulties. Our first time playing every night for a while until we went through all three of them. And in the third game, his character ends up sacrificing himself, and there was an emotion between us because it's the two main characters are best friends. The character Dom been through hell through the three games. He lost basically everything, and then he sacrificed himself for the crew. And after that happened, the screen went to black. Me and my friend I was playing with, we just kind of sat there for a solid 5 minutes thinking, what the hell just happened? Why is this happening to us? And that's that right there. For me, that there in a movie will never happen. I won't get that same feeling because I'm just watching it. I didn't quote live through it through the game.
Mm-hmm. Well, you have to build up to it. It just has to. You have to get there. You have to have the direction and the story get you there. But I see you're saying co-op experience. Okay.
Yeah, but like I was saying, is like when you get really invested in a game, you almost take the role of that character. That I was Marcus during those three games. So when Marcus lost his best friend because his best friend sacrificed himself, I was like, what do I do? I don't have Dom with me anymore. Now my friend has to be someone else that we don't even care about. Yeah. Some stuff like that. You can't replicate it in a movie.
All right. It's hard to. It's not you can't. It's hard to.
It's very hard to.
Yeah, it has to take skilled writing, adapting, and directing and acting. Yes,
it's very. You have to take it with a lot of care, which we know is a rarity in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we've gone about 35 minutes. Anything else you want to talk about? Any complaints that you have about the? Because I got Hans on. It's hard to get Hans on because he's a busy dude.
I do have complaints. What?
Okay. All right.
Why can't we demand? Why can't we need to start demanding more Star Wars video games?
I'm up for more Star Wars video games.
That Star Wars. Oh, what was it called? It was going to be the Bounty Hunter one that got scrapped. It was supposed to take place like in the Undercity of Coruscant.
How about too many Star Wars projects get scrapped altogether? Not even video games.
That's true too.
Yeah,
that's true too. Like everyone's. I would take a Ryan Johnson trilogy. I'll say it.
All
I'll
right,
say it live.
end the show.
I
That's the last.
think I listen. I hated The Last Jedi. All I'll say about it, but visually, it was very good. And I think if you let Ryan Johnson take, okay, he wants to do his own separate story that has nothing to do with anything except for his characters, what he wants, I think it would be successful.
I don't even want. I mean, I don't hate him or anything. I just thought it's just we're past it already. I'd rather him do something new. His own I think he's very successful in his own projects, his
Yes,
own
RJ,
story.
that's the game. Star Wars 1313.
Yes, I remember that. I was looking forward to
That
that too.
that's a game that they need to blow the dust off and say, all right, we need to finish this.
All right. RJ wants you to talk about the community.
I don't want to talk about that right now. This is a happy stream.
Oh, okay. Ooh, ouch, ouch. Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm having a good time. I don't want to talk about that stuff right now. It's late.
That's good. Anything you're playing? Any games you're playing on your Twitch?
Yeah, I am currently playing through Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay.
I am gonna be continuing very soon my Halo Legendary runs, where I am on the last mission of Halo Reach on Legendary, and after I beat that, I'm gonna go on to Halo 1 Legendary. I'll be honest, probably not gonna play Halo 2 on Legendary because the heroic difficulty on Halo 2 is very close to Legendary on the other games.
Yeah.
The Legendary in Halo 2 is just
I have to finish the
pain.
last Halo game before the new one comes out. Is the new one
Halo
coming out?
5?
Yeah. Is the new one going to be single player campaign when it comes out or just multiplayer?
From what I know, it is going to be single player for now, and they're gonna bring co-op to it. I think I read this was a couple months ago. I think I read this, but apparently they were having difficulty with the co-op because of how open the world is. Apparently, that's where they're having some difficulties.
I can understand that. That's a reasonable, if you think about it from a game programming. I can understand how that would be difficult.
Yeah, it's just I think it's part of the same reason why Skyrim doesn't have co-op, even though really wish it did.
Xeno says Tomb Raider Trilogy was on sale a couple weeks ago on Xbox. You have an Xbox.
Xbox.
I'm sure to get that. I've been wanting to play that through that.
Those games are great. Those are my favorite style of games and stuff like that.
But what about did you see the movie?
No, I didn't. I don't really watch a lot of movies. I've watched a lot of 80s movies.
Yeah.
But these newer movies that come out, I find myself getting bored.
What about the other thing is making more 80s movies, like, for example, the video games? There's been all kinds of movies to game adaptations, the reverse of what we are discussing earlier. I would love to see more projects that haven't been visited since the 16-bit era come in the video games. I mean, we still get Alien and Predator.
That new Alien game, by the way, really good.
Oh, it is?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I loved it. Me and Zeno played through it, and that game is really a lot of fun.
RJ's calling you a boomer. Hanz sounds like a boomer, watches 80s movies, but hates modern movies and finds them boring.
I think that the original Terminator is a better movie than most of these comic book movies that have come out.
I like the original Terminator. I still really like the comic book movies coming out.
They're not bad. They're just kind of boring. They've become very predictable. And this new Spider-Man movie coming out, actually, because of all the leak, everything about it we know, is probably one of the least predictable movies to come out because no one thought it would be possible if everything's true, no one thought it would be possible to make it happen, which is, I believe when the original Avengers came out, that was one of the reasons people got so hyped, is because no one ever thought something like that would happen.
Right. I just wish that they would have been able to keep the secret, because that would have been amazing.
Yeah, I do too. I'm kind of disappointed. I know I wanted to
Well,
go
I
into
mean,
that one blind.
it's too big of a thing to keep a secret, though. It's not like just a small cameo if they're
Yeah,
actually so.
and then I really liked Doctor Strange, but that was
Oh
like
yeah,
that movie did not feel like a Marvel movie. Really,
right.
it was
I
so
re-
different.
yeah, I like it for that reason too. It was very different, very psychedelic. The special effects in there were really.
Uh,
It's
it was
not just
great.
not just generic Marvel CGI, because I love Marvel movies too, RJ. Don't get all twisted, but a lot of them just have very basic CGI. Look at what we were talking about movie talk earlier with Professor Hulk. He just doesn't look that great. But some of the
No,
special effects going on in Doctor Strange were like, whoa,
yeah,
you
those are
know?
wild.
Yeah.
I
Spider-Man
feel
No
like
Way.
movies need to go back to more practical effects mixed in with the CG. I feel
I
like
don't
they
even
go too overboard.
I don't even necessarily think that, Hans. I think CG's fine. It's just proficient CGI pushing and making it really, instead of just generic, manufactured by so many different. I think the problem is the Marvel movies. The reason you get them so frequently is because there's so many people working on it at the exact same time, and the way that the CG in these Marvel movies, it looks can look potentially a little bit more generic, is because there's so many different studios working on it that they kind of keep it that way so they could get the project done on time. It's not really pushing special effects forward at all. That's why I keep saying James Cameron is my one of my favorite. I think he's still probably an a-hole in real life, but he's pushing the genre forward. And I really hope an Avatar does some amazing special effects.
The first Avatar did.
Yeah.
It's a shame that it's almost rare for it to be that good. Even again, Lord of the Rings, 20 years old. That the CG in that, oh, some of it does still hold up. And
Mhm.
yeah, sure, 20 years later, yeah, you can tell things are CG, but sometimes some of these modern movies looks worse,
Right.
and it just makes
Well,
no sense.
you know what they found out after Avatar, when they were really pushing. This is my, because I've been following movies so much, I'm such a fan. Is that they were pushing, like even the first Pacific Rim, they really pushed higher budget CGI and put more money into it, and they don't have the results at the box office from the general audience. The general audience doesn't particularly care about really next level CGI,
Do you think maybe it looks
it
too
costs
clean?
them. No, it costs them in their profits. Honestly, as much as I love Marvel, Marvel is part of the problem here. Their formula of jokey jokes,
Yep.
fun, which are very fun, and then not pumping up the visuals as much, and they, all these other companies look at that and they say, you know what, we're not getting as a lot of profits dumping more and more into the special effects. We do better by having multiple uh you know special effects studios working at the same time, keeping our release date, and have some more jokes and fun, but not really putting a lot into the special effects. It just isn't. It's not generating a lot of profits. Lot, a big majority of the audience doesn't predict. I love when it really put that's first Pacific Rim was really great special effects, but then you look at the second Pacific Rim, and it got downgraded. It was more like Transformers level
Uh,
CGI. Yeah.
I feel like more practical effects do be needed. And I was gonna ask, do you think sometimes with the CGI they use it almost looks like too clean and it kind of almost lacks the gritty realism?
Yes, potentially, and that's why I like Cowboy Bebop so much. The trailer, it has like that gritty old school feel, even though it's CG to the OG Star Wars trilogy. Did you see the newest one?
I didn't.
Okay, check out the newest one. Actually, after we're done live here, we can watch it real quick, just so
I'm
you
down.
see what I'm talking about. Because the CG, like it just not spoilers, but part of one of the characters in the new trailer when he's like hitting the side of the ship because something's falling down. There looks like a little more rust on the ships. It looks like more organic and just instead of just pristine CGI, but it still looks like really good CGI too. But you get that lived in feel that you miss from some practical effects. It's a good mix of CGI and making it look more practical, even though it's CGI.
Yeah, that's what I think new movies lack. They lack grittiness, I think.
Yeah.
Gritty, dirty, like it's I feel like they're trying to make it too they're trying to make movies too clean now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, RJ left. We're criticizing Marvel too much. Are you still there, RJ? I'm not getting twisted. I just want to ask a question. She-Hulk looks good, Max. Fix your glasses. Yeah, She-Hulk does. But Hulk doesn't.
Hulk doesn't. And I I feel like something they can do to fix it is using CG over the practical effects. Like if you get a practical effect or anything that looks good, but you want to add to it, you want to make it look more future or whatever. Wouldn't it be cheaper to put CG over something that's actually there and just kind of improve upon what's a solid object already?
Well, then then your cost would be ballooning to do physical and practical all the time for everything.
That would be
Uh,
great. That's what we need.
yeah. RJ says, "What new Marvel movies has Hans liked? I think he would enjoy Shang-Chi."
What new ones? Doctor Strange.
That's not a new.
That's not new, is it?
No.
um, I watched um, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I like that a lot, actually. I thought that was very good.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too. Are you
I
looking
think it
forward
was
to
better.
Hawkeye?
I am. I'm
Okay.
looking more. I think that those shows are going to be more appealing to me.
Okay.
I like that I knew that because Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that's a single season, right? They're not
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
another one. I
I don't
think
think so.
that's I think I think that's better for a miniseries like that, to be honest. I think they should have finished Loki in one season. I didn't watch it all, but knowing there's a second season kind of puts me off because
Okay.
at some point I feel like they start trying to do too much. When it's an eight
Yeah.
episode season, you know it's gonna end, and you know that the time is limited, so you know that story will end, and then maybe the next after the next Avengers movie that Falcon and Bucky are in, maybe then they do another season of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but it's going to be years later, completely different storylines.
All right. Well, we're gonna head out. Thank you, Hans, for joining me. We could do this again.
Yeah, it was fun.
Um, I do want to show him this Cowboy Bebop trailer off air, and I know I can't do it because the last time I got a copyright strike. The last time I tried to show it. So thank you for joining us. We'll be back tomorrow for Brian's appreciation stream, and then probably Sunday for a member stream. Have a good night, everyone. And I'm gonna watch some games. You know what I need to play is my Xbox Horizon 5, Forza Horizon 5. I haven't played it yet. It's just waiting there. It needed I was about to play it one day because well, here's the problem with Game Pass. I pre-downloaded it and it's such a big game. And then I was like, okay, I'll play it. And there's like it needs a huge update. And it's like an hour or two update. I'm like, damn it. Blinded Braille had a question.
Oh, what was it?
Let me see. Ask Hans what movies he likes besides Marvel. There's tons of movies besides Marvel.
Yeah. What movies?
Any
Let's
recent
see.
movies?
Obviously, recent movies. Oh, recent movies.
No, either way.
I'm trying to think of the most recent new movie I've heard, or I've watched. Jesus, I actually don't know what the newest movie I watched is.
You didn't watch Dune or anything like that?
No, I haven't seen Dune. I haven't even seen Star Wars Episode 9.
Do you know you're on
I mean,
Movie Madness and Entertainment? No, I'm just kidding.
I do. Let's see. Obviously, Star Wars. Love Lord of the Rings. I like The Hobbit. Terminator movies. I love. I like the Alien movies. Predator. Blues Brothers. Love the Blues Brothers. That's one of my favorites. The Goonies.
Okay. You are
Reservoir
old school.
Dogs. Reservoir Dogs is another one of my favorites. And
Okay, have
12
you
Monkeys.
watched the new
I love Quentin movies.
Have you
I
seen
have
all the new
the
ones?
new one. I have not seen his newest one. I don't think the one about when they're in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I have not seen that one, but I've seen the rest.
Okay.
I like his style of directing a lot, or like his directing camera angles. It's very unique. And it feels more almost more theater like in a way, which I like a lot.
All right. So if you want to get more Hans on streams, remember to leave a like, thumbs this video up, and then I'm gonna chill and play some games and movies tonight too. I might end up somewhere else. I'm not sure. Another stream.
You should download Back for Blood.
Yeah, I should. It's
on the Game Pass.
Yeah. Blind and Brill says Han needs to watch it. He'll love that movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, you should watch that.
I should.
It's a good movie.
I just always find myself playing games instead of watching stuff.
I understand that. All right. You know what I tend to do? I like search through YouTube instead of watching actual content or games. I'm like, why am I on YouTube? And I have to remind myself there's great directed stuff. Because I don't know. I'm kind of addicted to YouTube. All right. Bye, everyone. Have a good night. I'll talk to you guys later. All right. Let's watch the